This is what we're talking about. Central Texas super region. It's been called a metroplex. It's been called a megaplex. It's basically taking the two cities, Austin being the 10th largest city in the nation, high tech government and education is the hub of the activity there for employment, and then San Antonio is tourism and military and manufacturing industry. San Antonio is the seventh largest city in the nation. It's actually bigger than Austin. It's about close to 2.5 million people. Austin's just over 2 million people. So in this region, we have about 4.5 million people. Well, I guess, almost 5 million people in this area. And the expected, they just came out with the expectations for this area, these two cities. It's going to grow by another 3 million people in population by 2050. So they've got to put the folks somewhere, and they've got to live in housing somewhere. And that's what we're here as investors, is fulfill that need of providing housing for tenants and to have them help us pay our mortgages off. So if you notice down here, by 2045, 53% of the population between San Antonio and Austin expected to live just within 5 miles of this corridor. So we focus on not only Austin. Austin's gotten overpriced, and it's even with the reduction of prices gone down over 10-15% since its peak. It's still, we're looking at a median price of $550,000, $570,000, which is good compared to a lot of areas in the nation, especially tech areas. But it doesn't do well for cash flow and to make the numbers work. We actually, I've sold hundreds and hundreds of homes in Austin. It's a great place to live. But investment-wise, around 2021, we really slowed down and actually stopped buying investment properties in Austin because, first of all, there was a feeding frenzy. 1,000 properties got sold at 2,200 homes got sold at over $100,000 over asking price. It was nuts. 96 offers on one house, 152 offers. We were just not going to compete with that. Plus, people were getting frothy about their investing, and we just don't want to throw money. The numbers still got to make sense, the dynamics. So San Antonio, that was about 50% of the value of a median price home in Austin. We'll get into those numbers here later on. But the bottom line is that our rent's about 80% of the Austin rent, but our values are the purchase prices are 50%. So this area is where we've been focusing on, and we've had a great pleasure of helping a lot of our clients acquire properties in this megaplex region. So, we're going to go over some of the Austin Austinized hightailing to San Antonio, because Austin is not nearly as affordable. You can go 55 miles, 70 miles south or in between, and buy houses that are substantially less and great quality of life. And so that's actually 20% of the people moving to San Antonio are moving from Austin. Okay, so Elon, he talked about Austin and the areas around here as being the biggest boom that America's ever seen for the next 50 years. So arguably one of the smartest guys on the planet. And he's also an investor in real estate, though it's not obviously his core business. He does own 6,000 acres of Texas, and about half of that is in the Austin area, including where he has his gigafactory, which has about 2,200 acres just in that area alone. He's also acquired property in Bastrop, Texas, just southeast of Austin, about 20 miles from his gigafactory, to do his Starlink and his boring company and things like that. So these are some of the areas that we focus on, because the guy's arguably super smart, and he's bullish, and he's buying up a lot of Texas land. So he's actually building homes for his employees. That's pretty interesting that they're actually building homes for the employees, because housing shortage. We still have a housing shortage, big time. There's his big building, amazing, and actually just the Cybertrucks had just started to come out of that building. Like them, love them, leave them. But the fact is Tesla is cranking along, super cranking right now. So. The high tech Google downtown, Oracle across the river downtown, the Domain having 10 miles north of downtown with Amazon, Facebook, and Verbo. Apple just another 10 minutes north of the Domain. has its $1.2 billion facility. You also have the biggest facility right now being built is the $17 billion Samsung chip plant, which is about 10 miles, about 15 miles northeast of Austin, in the town of Taylor. And so this actually, that $17 billion plant is worth more than all those other tech buildings I just showed you combined. So Samsung's doubling down, and I believe that they're planning on building another factory here. So also now taking a look at San Antonio. What does San Antonio got? H-E-B, the largest grocery store chain in Texas and the 7th largest in the nation. We have one that just got built down the street here. So they're amazing stores. And they're really very efficient, and they've got great, it's people love their H-E-Bs here. So their a company is stationed out of San Antonio, and it is the 7th largest grocery store chain in the nation. So I think it was 135,000 employees. It's huge. Toyota has a huge manufacturing. They build their Toyota trucks, the Tundra trucks, down in south of San Antonio. USAA, just north of downtown, is one of the largest insurance companies in the nation. And they're there. We have a military Air Force base. Randolph Air Force Base is where the pilots get trained to join the Air Force to get in those planes. And so, I always tell people who are worried about Air Force bases closing, not these Air Force bases, because they're training facilities. And I don't think the world's got much safer, and we need our jets and we need our pilots trained. There's also Lackland Air Force Base and a couple other bases that are nice anchors to the rental market here in San Antonio. Of course, tourism's a big deal. The Alamo, the Riverwalk downtown. This is actually where we go vacation, because it's only, even from North Austin, it's only about an hour and a half down to get to really just a lot of fun golf and water sports and resorts. It's really, really cool. And the Riverwalk downtown is iconic. And then, of course, the kids love to go to SeaWorld and Six Flags, Texas, and that's always fun to get out there and to rock and roll on the roller coasters. Of course, we got our San Antonio Spurs, and they've got the AT&T Center just north of downtown San Antonio. So it's a big city. It comes with all the other things a big city carries, as far as jobs and opportunities, and 2.5 million residents. They've got quite an economy down there. All right, this is a great PBS special that it's just Google this one, the San Antonio Austin emerging mega metro. If you're watching on YouTube, probably have a link to this down in the comments. But it's a great video. It's two of the former mayors, Cisneros and forget the our Austin mayor, but the former mayor. They are talking about what's happening between these two cities, and that's where we're talking about investing in. Okay, so back to the mega region. When we're looking at investing, San Antonio, being a big city, has all kinds of opportunities to invest. There's areas I really wouldn't invest in, and there's areas that I think are fantastic. And that's what we narrow it down for you. And so right now we have the west side of San Antonio is where better schools are, better infrastructure. Actually, San Antonio has amazing infrastructure. Their roads system are much more laid out better than Austin's road system. And there's near the Air Force bases. There's also down south near the Toyota plant. These are areas that we have on our list of properties to look at. We also like New Braunfels a lot. That's a city between Austin and San Antonio. Love that place. Go there as soon, anytime I can, is get down to New Braunfels, Seguin. Those are the two towns that are right here. But the little 10 is where Seguin is, right off the 130 toll road and the Highway 10, which goes across the nation. And then 35 is where New Braunfels are. It's a resort town right on I-35, absolutely exploding with growth. San Marcos, just north of that, Texas State University. That's the home at Texas State, the 5th largest college in university in Texas. All right, so kind of what we've been looking at, and the reason we started looking down San Antonio, we started also looking north of Austin and we sold several hundred homes in the Central Texas region near Killeen, Temple, Belton, about 50 miles north of Austin. And then we started to look down south because of the housing affordability. If you notice down here, the median price home cost home in San Antonio right now is 254,600. Most every house that we're selling right now is actually under that, and they're brand new construction. Austin's almost is more than double that at 577 for the same house, same builder, 577,000, double the price. So people are taking the flight to affordability. We also have the median in the United States is 338,000, which is interesting because that's substantially higher, $70,000 or more than San Antonio. So being the seventh largest city in the nation and being under the median by far, and both United States and Austin, Texas, makes it very attractive. It's also much more affordable in a lot of the other costs of living, health costs, housing costs, energy costs, all that's a lot cheaper in San Antonio.